Hey, happy Friday to my YouTube folk that are tapped in with me, to the people that came over from Instagram. I appreciate you all listening and doing what I asked you to. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get right into it because I feel like we have to talk about some things. See, this is what happens when you live in Los Angeles, like kind of near the airport, hear planes and stuff. Don't mind the background noise. But yeah, we're going to talk about it. In case you guys haven't seen it, it was a viral video that was on Twitter, and it was of this black female therapist, and she was talking about how black men don't have to keep their issues and stuff bottled up, right? They don't have to keep that stuff internalized. But the way she went about saying it is she was, it was swear words left and right. MF of this, don't you want your B to be able to open up to you, and all this other kind of stuff. And then just the overall tone was condescending. She looked incredibly sloppy. Her place was a hot ass mess. And it just seemed like it wasn't coming from a place of love. You know how I talk to you guys and you could tell that I actually care about y'all, and I don't be sitting up trying to berate y'all and insult you and make you feel stupid. It was none of that. None of that was involved. The whole conversation was just very ugh. And if I was a black man, it would turn me off of therapy. Hell, as a black woman, it made me be like, you know what? I'm better off just getting down on my prayer rug and writing it out like I normally do. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the type of perception that I have when it comes to therapy. Apology for the plane. Okay. Now, everybody that's on Instagram, navigate on over to YouTube, because I'm about to get off the live on Instagram and I'm just gonna be right here with it on YouTube. Okay. So you see the link down there, and navigate on over, because I'm not gonna be holding up my phone the whole time. And that's that. Let me slide this over. But yeah, goodbye to my YouTube folk. To my Instagram folk. Y'all get on YouTube. Lay y'all. All right. So now that that is done, let me scoot this out the way. So that's just basically what I want to talk about. And there was a lot of people that was in defense of this. I don't know if you guys saw the video. It's really nothing to see, because it's nothing motivational. It's nothing uplifting. While it is true that black men and women alike, especially black men, should not hold in their problems and their emotions and things of that nature, because it gets repressed, and it manifests itself in many other ailments, health ailments and mental issues, and blocks and people not being able to open up and be vulnerable. So it is important for us to actually speak and get these things out, right? But who we speak to and who we get these things out to is just as important, because it could be just as damaging. Now think about it like this, because a lot of the rhetoric that surrounded this black female therapist, a lot of the rhetoric that surrounded her, the people that was defending her was saying that black men lack accountability. They just have to understand that when you go into therapy, you're going to have to be prepared to be accountable for your stuff. And see, that right there, that was another therapist. There was another black therapist. This time it was a man. Another therapist who was saying,
I'm going to stop it right there. This therapist that I see, it seems to me like she's young, super young. And look, I might be reaching, but I believe she got involved with one of her clients, and it went somewhere she ain't never been. And hey man, in that age group, dudes hit it and quit it, whatever. I may be reaching, but she was so emotionally attached to the ideal or the situation that I believe she made a move and got shook, and then she wanted to complain about dudes not showing up. You can call it how you want to, man. That's how I see it.
That black men have to understand that therapy comes with accountability. Therapy comes, you have to be accountable if you want to go to therapy and heal your past traumas and stuff. Now that within itself bothers me. You know what I'm saying? Because before the black man has even sat on your couch as a therapist, Before he's even sat on your couch, you're already assuming that he's in the wrong for whatever happened to him and that he has to take accountability for whatever it is. Like, you didn't even give him an opportunity to tell you what happened to him. Imagine being a black man and you're going to therapy because you've had some issues with sexual trauma and abuse in your past. And your therapist gets at you in a way that you have to be accountable for that. And this is the point I'm making. No other demographic of people get that. When we talk about black women going to therapy, it's not like, yeah, because y'all need to be accountable. No, it's all about healing. It's about healing and, getting rid of the past traumas and opening up and getting down into the root of why you are the way you are. But then when we talk about black men therapy, you got to be ready for accountability. Accountability for being abused as a little boy. I'm just wondering, accountability for your father maybe not being around, or if he was around, he was hitting on you, or accountability for your mother treating you like you were a second-class citizen because you look like your father and you remind her of him. Accountability for that. This is what I'm saying. Like, we talk about therapy, and I'm not down in therapy at all. I'm just saying, if we're gonna go, we gotta vet these people, which is the sad thing. It's sad that, like, even in the field of like therapy, these people supposedly go to school for this, and these are their takeaways. These are the like, this is what they feel,
She's so young, she couldn't have been involved for too long. And for it to happen so fast, she wasn't involved for too long. But it seems to me like she was so emotionally attached to it. She did something she wasn't supposed to do. I think she got attached to one of them dudes who stopped pulling up. I mean, she broke down in tears. She went left like a chick do when they dude is acting funny in front of their friends. But she took to social media with it. Identical. I believe she was involved with one of her clients. But man,
I'm a firm believer that you shouldn't go into a job field if you don't like people that you have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not a people person, or you have internal issues with black men or black women, don't go into a job to where you have to deal with people, black men or black women, because that's crazy. It's craziness, right? And so I said that. I was online and I was like, okay, this whole accountability thing is wild to me. Now, we do need to be accountable for ourselves. Yes, as adults, once we figure out what's wrong with us, like, you're putting the cart before the horse. Once we understand what the issue is, once we understand the root causes of the trauma and the pain, now we have to be accountable for what we do going forward, right? Right? That's how that works, right? We don't hold you accountable before you even address the issue at hand.
You see how shook up she is about it. I'm telling you, she's confused. It took her, but I don't think I'm telling you, man, I think that girl was involved with her client and got shook. I think he ghosted her and she didn't know how to take it, bro. Period.
So once we got that out the way, right? We got that out the way, and the therapist couldn't make excuses about that. They couldn't say, "Oh well, accountability." Now the thing is, they want to switch it to professionalism. Okay, you want to police how black therapists talk to clients. One guy. Let me pull it up, because I just see, this is why I don't need to be on Instagram with it, because then I could actually go back and refer.
She in her feelings
to what was said.
That thing got her heated.
Just one black
he can't
therapist.
Take it.
He gonna say, y'all say y'all want black therapists, then tell black therapists that we have to speak, he puts professionally in quotes, professionally, and police the tone of messages we share. It sounds like y'all want white therapists.
But did you see how this girl was acting? How livid she got? I'm telling you, it's not about black or white therapists. It's just about how Hey man, some dudes go nuts for the box. Some girls go loony for the Johnson. And that's how loony she was. Promise you.
All right, I'm gonna read that again. Y'all say y'all want black therapists, then tell black therapists that we have to speak professionally and police the tone of messages we share. It sounds like y'all want white therapists. Now, there's multiple problems with that. Multiple problems with it. And what I said was the essence of self-hate to equate professionalism with whiteness. Ask yourself if your black clients aren't worth your professionalism. And see, this is the nitty gritty of what I want to talk about.
Yeah, because it's so sensitive in a mental health therapy office. How can you even go that route with it? You know what I mean? It ain't something to take, you know what I'm saying, lightly. And I don't think mental health therapists, I don't think that's a thing, man. That's just, I believe you just need somebody close to you, close enough that you can trust. Not somebody you go to their office and pay for them to do research on you and sit and say yeah a couple times and suggest things. You need a homie that's gonna tell you what they would do in a particular situation. You just need a good friend. That mental health, that health therapy, unless it's physical therapy, it's not even a thing.
Because as black people, like, the therapy conversation is one thing. I do feel like our people do need therapy, but we can't go to therapists who need therapy themselves. You feel me? We can't be going to people who have an internal disdain
exactly
for us and think that they're going to help us through our problems and our trauma. But one of the main issues with us as a people as to why we treat ourselves bad and we treat other people that look like us bad is because this innate belief that like better things equate to whiteness. Did you hear how he said, like, my black clients want me to speak professional? They want professionalism. It sounds like they want white therapists.
But see, that he's trying to talk to him like I'm telling you, he needs, his client need to be near one of their homies or family members, cousin, something, and talk to like that. Other than that, man, you need to step it up. You know what I'm saying?
Like, we have to stop equating professionalism and eloquence and poise and things of that nature. We have to stop equating that to whiteness, because that's not something that's specific to being white. And that within itself is anti-blackness, right? And then they get to start talking. They want to make an argument that, like, you guys know what I mean when I say professionalism. We have to fight for the right to wear our hair a certain way. We're not talking about hair. We're not about to deflect from this topic, because what we're talking about is speech, right? We're talking about speech. If you are a licensed therapist or any person that speaks to people, like, that is your job, are you going to speak in an unprofessional way to black people because blackness is unprofessional?
Black.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's the equivalent. That's the equivalence there. And whiteness is professionalism.
Right. You don't supposed to say the weed. You're supposed to say the marijuana.
This is what I'm talking about. We as people, like, I feel like it all got
Use your
popular
terms
with code switching and all that kind of stuff. Now, you guys know I have my own businesses that these planes are out of control today. I gotta like close my little balcony. Anyway, you guys know that I have my own businesses, things of that nature, and it's been that way for a while. However, that wasn't always the case. I'm just gonna give you guys a little insight about me. I used to work for Bank of America, right? fresh out of high school, I got a job as a collector. So I would call people, they would hang up in my face because, of course, their mortgage was late. They don't want to talk to me. It's fine. But I was good at what I did, so I got promoted. I got promoted to a mortgage specialist, right? And so my job was literally talking on the phone to people, getting documents for home loan modifications for several different loans and things of that nature. That was my job. While I worked at Bank of America, I used to come to work every day, damn near every day, with my hair in a full fro. A full afro. Like, that was the height of me wearing an afro. Like, when I first got out of high school, I was wearing my hair in an afro all the time because I just didn't like looking ordinary. In my opinion, when my hair was straightened, to me, I look ordinary. So I was always wearing my hair in an afro at work every day. Every day. And every day while I was at work, I would be on the phone and I would speak, and I was very articulate. I was very eloquent, and I never had to sound like a white person. I didn't have to code switch. Never did I do that. Professionalism does not equal assimilation. You understand me? I'm going to read you guys something else that I wrote, because people really have this thing about professionalism and code switching, and it gets on my nerves. It really gets on my nerves because I don't like what the root of it is. And at the root of it, it is self-hate and anti-Blackness. Okay. I said this on Twitter. I said, I really can't stand new Blacks. You don't have to code switch and change who you are to be professional. I worked for Bank of America as a mortgage specialist. I never sounded like a white person when I spoke. I'm just eloquent. I wore an afro and no one pressed me. And then I said, it's not about cowering like a second-class citizen to white people in order to keep a job. It's about being fully confident in who you are, demanding your respect, and doing your job so well that nobody can say shit to you. I've seen people that do that nasally, vocal fry, Valley Girl voice and still not get the raises, bonuses, and promotions I received. It's unfolded to such a degree. People severely underestimate how far real confidence goes. Okay? Never have I ever been at any job, been at any call center, nothing like that, and had to put on a white voice. How you guys hear me talk is how I talked on the phone. I'll be right there on the phone with the customers, letting it be known this is what I'm doing. And you know what? I feel like the reason why we do the code switching and we like to equate whatever is good to whiteness, we like to call anything with poise or whatever, whiteness or professionalism and all that, is because some of us actually need oppression. And I feel like it's two reasons why. Some of us need oppression. Reason number one is that it makes it easier for us to assimilate. And for people who want to assimilate, this is a good thing because it doesn't look like you want to assimilate. It looks like you're assimilating because you have to. It looks like you're forced to do this, so this is why you're doing it, when in all actuality, this is something that you want to do. You like to put on the white voice, sound like nasally, the thank you, that voice. You feel me? When you're on the phone with a customer. So it looks like we have an opening, that talking with the question mark at the end. We have an opening. We can get you booked in there at around 6 o'clock. Okay, thank you. All that kind of stuff. You like talking like that because in your mind, that is true professionalism. That's professionalism to you. That sounds professional. That sounds more educated. That sounds, more along the lines of how you like to be perceived. So I feel like that's one of the reasons why we do it, because it's not that we have to, because we don't have to. It's that we want to. But we don't want to just straight out say that we want to. We want to make it seem like we're forced. Reason number one. Reason number two, why I feel like sometimes we as Black people need oppression, is because it gives us an excuse to lack ambition. You know what I'm saying? Because if something is always stopping you, if something is always hindering you, if something is always against you, then why should you try? I mean, it's gonna fail anyway, right? Why put forth any effort at all? And then you don't look like a loser. You look like someone who's in a position where you can't help yourself. And because you're in that position, no one's gonna call you a loser. We're all oppressed. Now, mind you, it is true that we as Black people have a lot to deal with. There is a lot against us. Systematic racism and actual oppression is a very, very, very real thing. I'm not negating the fact that it's not real, because it is. However, what hinders us the most is not external forces, especially Black people in America. What hinders us the most is not the external forces. It's our limitations that we put on ourselves. That's our biggest hindrance. That's the biggest fight. I don't even understand how my phone is on Do Not Disturb and I'm still getting...
I had the microphone on mute, but I was saying I understand what she means. It's like we manifesting and we walking into a situation with this thing hot and heavy on our mind. So we're actually creating a situation, or basically creating a problem that never existed.
In the call. Anyway, that's the biggest fight. You feel me? That's the biggest issue. So, and I see like a lot of people might be dropping off the live. They don't like this talk, but this is the kind of talk that's going to get us to where we need to go. Because we like saying these things. Oh, I'm so good at code switching. I'm so good at, I know how to turn it off and on. It was so many people that I worked with that were Black, and they didn't get the promotion throughout the code switching, the whatever all they was doing. I got the promotions. I was damn good at what I did, and I was genuine. You can be eloquent. You can have so many diverse words in your verbal lexicon. Your diction can be superb without you sitting up sounding like a white person or trying to. That's what I'm saying. Because it's too much of this, you guys. We have to understand that there is greatness in us, and we don't have to try to be or act like somebody else in order for our greatness to be realized. Like, how does that even make sense? How do we get further along in life by being a copy of someone else? You know what I'm saying? You rob the world of you. You rob the world of yourself when you do that. So I feel like we really have to understand as Black people that at its core, just the overall idea of I have to code switch and all of that is something that we shouldn't even begin to want to do. And that it all boils down to you actually knowing what you're talking about and confidence. The reason why nobody ever pressed me when I walked down the halls of Bank of America with my hair in a full fro is because I confidently did so. And even though I didn't say anything to those people, like, I wish you would say something to me, my face and my demeanor communicated that. I wish you would say something to me about how my hair looked. I wish you would say something to me about how my hair looks. And that's why the same.
So that reminds me of the skit Dion Cole did when he was talking about we have to control our blackness. He was asking the white people in the audience, he was like, y'all see how Tyrone act when he at work? It was like, that ain't the real Tyrone. But that's what she's talking about now.
People that be code switching and be trying to bend and fold and do everything. That's why they be getting looked over and stuff for these positions that they want to be in. Because everyone could look at you and tell that the confidence is not really there. A lot of us be sitting up online talking about we pro-black this, we pro-black that, but you afraid to speak how you naturally speak when you get into these other places. You're afraid to have your hair how it naturally grows when you get into these other places. And other people can see that confidence. And it's not even so much about black or white anymore. This is going to be the noisiest live I ever recorded. But it's not even so much about black and white anymore when you're in these job spaces, but more so about who is confident. Because if you have anybody in a leadership position, they got to be confident in what they do. And it's really that simple. It's really that simple because these businesses know that they can get hit with lawsuits. They know that in the age of going viral, their company is one bad move away from being all plastered online about being racist. But we just sitting up lacking confidence in who we are, blaming it on, oh, I have to do this. I have to. No, you don't. You don't have to do nothing. It's wild to me. So yeah, let's stop it. Let's stop it with the conversations about, code switching and what's professional and what's not professional. I'm just gonna break down some professionalism to you. Then I'm gonna look at these super chats because I don't want them to go away. I think it was one that came earlier. Let me just make mention of this. Too Tall, thank you for the super chat. He said this is fascinating. When I was talking about my job at Bank of America, and I quit that job, mind you. I didn't get fired or nothing. I quit to pursue my own desires and dreams, which I've been doing now for the past 6 years or whatever, however it's been. But regardless, being professional, like I said, is not about nothing to do with being white and all that kind of stuff. And then people will get to talking like, well, you trying to learn these white words, these English words. You're saying that to me in English, bruh. You know what I'm saying? When people get at me like that, well, you're trying to learn more of these white words. You mean get better in English? Like, if this is the language I have to speak, I'm going to speak it well. It's not white to learn more words. People was mad at me when I started to learn how to speak French. You feel me? Je parle le français? Oui. They was mad at me when I started learning to speak French, right? Like, why you learning colonizing language? Why you're asking me that in English? Anyway, it's not about the fact that you can use more words. It's about being confident. That's the main thing. That's the number one thing. Your confidence will carry you a long way. Your confidence will get you the majority of the way there. It's so many people who aren't even talented. They're not intelligent and none of that, but they're confident. They're overly confident. And that confidence has carried them far in a mug. Your confidence will get you far. It's being confident. It's whatever the way you decide to dress, making sure that your clothes are well fitting, that they're pressed, they're ironed, and they're appropriate for whatever event or occasion you're attending. It's about having the right posture. I feel like we weren't taught this, and we need to learn this. It's not about being like this, cowering down, because like before people even talk to you, they could tell whether or not you're confident. They could just look at you. And this is what I look at in men. I don't want no man that's hunched over. Like, what, bro? If you don't stand up straight, put your shoulders back and your chest out. That's professional. You know what I'm saying? Your posture. Not being all slumped over. Not being shifty-eyed. You're always looking down. You won't look nobody in the eye when they talk to you. This is what I'm talking about. And none of that has to do with being white. Okay?
They done piss Erica the fuck off, dog.
None of that has to do with being white. So let's stop this. Let's stop with the whole code switching. I have to sound or try to sound like a white person. All this all that weirdo stuff. I'm telling you, first and foremost, it does not work. I've worked for so many different places, and I ain't never code switched. I worked for Wells Fargo. Like I said, I worked for Bank of America as a mortgage specialist, and they like me there. Like, they really like me. They came to take a picture of me. They came to take a picture of me one day when I was at my desk to put it up on the board saying that I've been caught in the act of displaying Bank of America's core views, because I was really good at what I did. You feel me? I had like the highest, my scores were the highest out of everybody on the floor. But anyway, they came to take a picture of me, right? And my manager was like, "Oh, you don't have your afro today. I was hoping that you had it for the picture." And I was like, yeah. And they took a picture of me, put it up on the wall. And I wasn't up pretending like, "Oh, yeah, I mean, well, maybe tomorrow we can have," that's not how I talk. That's not how I get down. Bring you to whatever you have going on. That's your secret weapon. You. We don't have to be doing all of that. If we are really so proud to be black and all of that, then let's be black for real. Stop it with in order for me to be professional, I gotta put on the facade of a white person. And that's what gets on my nerves. A lot of these like new black people who be sitting up so proudly code switching and stuff, they ain't nothing but white liberals in a black person's body. That's what somebody had left a comment on my post, and I was like, that's true. White liberals in a black person's body. They like the idea of code switching is so ingrained in some people that they really get at us. Some of these black people who are basically white liberals, they get at us the same way that white liberals do, like using our lingo but in a wrong kind of off way to where it don't even sound real. Yeah, sis, like you done gone so back and forth between code switching that what you normally sound like talking don't even sound right no more. You now sound like a white liberal trying to sound like a black person in a black person's body. Wild times we living in. If we're so proud to be black, let's be that. And be confident in who you are. I'm telling you, it will take you far. My confidence has taken me so far in life. I've been in new places before, and people have asked me like, "You've been coming here for years, haven't you?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't." "Well, the way you walk, it seems like you know this place inside and out." Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Your confidence will take you far. Let me look at some of these super chats and then I'm done. I ain't got much else to say after this. You feel me? Eugene Steele said, Kevin Samuel somewhat talked about something like this. He said nothing about code switching, but the idea is professionalism. Kevin called it buying in as opposed to selling out. Amazing. I love that. Buying in as opposed to selling out. I like that. Perfect. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, I agree. I agree with the late great Kevin Samuels. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Frankwe, excuse me, I don't know if I'm saying that wrong. Probably am. He said, meanwhile in Africa, black people speak like 8 languages. See, this is what I'm talking about. Has nothing to do with being white. Language is also a tool like everything else. Thank you for this comment. You know, that's the reason why I decided to learn another language, Anthony.
So black is only made in America. You go to Africa, they are whatever they are from wherever they from. Some people out there don't even like to be called black because black is made in America.
It's because when I went over to Europe the first time, I was in Paris first and then I was in Belgium. And I didn't like that I couldn't speak French. I didn't like that I couldn't speak another language. And it bothered me, right? And I said, I'm gonna learn. And then when I went to Africa, I went to Africa like some months later. I went to Morocco, right? I was in Morocco for a couple of weeks. And while I was in Morocco, it's a little bit more difficult there because the people, they don't speak English. Like for the most part, they either speak Arabic or French. And then you have to go deeper into like southern Morocco to encounter like actually black people, you feel me? And so while I was out there, it was really difficult for me to communicate. And I was like, this is out. And everybody out there, like our tour guide, You know, the one who was on the tour with us, he spoke like 4 different languages. It was normal for all of these people to speak multiple languages. And that's exactly right. Language is a tool. And that's when I decided I'm not going to be the ignorant American traveling abroad who speaks English and expects everyone else to compensate the fact that I only speak one language. I'm going to learn some other languages. I started learning French and I started learning Spanish, and I know a little bit of both, at least enough to get me to navigate around to where I won't be totally lost if I'm in another country. But that is an excellent point and very true. Mostly everybody over there spoke multiple languages. Martin Ukpai said, the more access you have to your vocabulary, the greater access you're granted to the science of reality. Yes, we have to get away from this idea that speaking and being eloquent and articulate and really mastering that is something wrong with it, or it's right, or anything like that. You feel me? And people,
only in America.
That's the crazy thing. People will code switch and still have like a minimal vocabulary, but just because they've changed the vocal patterns in their voice, they think they're more intelligent or they sound more intelligent. You're still using the same little pool of words that you have. You just change your voice around to sound like a white person, but you don't sound any more intelligent. And you don't, you know what I'm saying? So it like those two don't go hand in hand is the point that I'm making.
So basically 2 strikes.
You could still talk and sound like a white person and still sound like an idiot. I hope you guys know that.
2 strikes.
I've heard it several times in my life. Too many times to count. You understand me? So this is what I'm saying, you guys. Let us understand that let's really be proud to be Black. There's nothing wrong with how we speak. The fact that we use more of our throats when we speak as opposed to using our nose. Because I don't like that kind of nasally talk. The talk where it's just up here, it's out of your nose. I don't like that kind of talk. I talk from here. I talk from here out.
Say it with your chest. On some Kevin Hart business.
Not here. I don't talk from here. Where all the air is coming out my nose. And you recognize that stuff the more languages you learn. Because in French, they talk from back here, like in the back of the throat. Same with Arabic, you know? They way back here with it. You feel me? Anyway, I'm not gonna get into it. You know, like to say, I work here. Je travaille ici. Back here with it. The R is pronounced in the back of the mouth. You know, so I'm not about to change how I talk, is the point that I'm making. Now, I will learn other languages so that I can speak to other people, but I'm still me, regardless. In the native language that I know, which is English, I'm me, regardless, okay? Somebody said I didn't know that. Yeah, that's the reason why accents are the way that they are, because certain people are used to using certain letters in different areas, you know? Like an A is like, anglais. That's how they say it. Je parle anglais, not anglais. That's how you can tell if like an English speaking person is learning a new language. Je parle anglais. Je travaille ici. Je travaille ici is different. You feel me? It's different. So that's the point I'm making. But I'm gonna get off of here because I've said enough. Let's be proud to be Black for real. Let's, you know, understand what true professionalism is. Let's extend and expound the verbal lexicon that we have. Let's get better with our diction, our syntax, all of that different stuff. Okay, it doesn't make you white. You feel me? It's not code switching. And actual code switching where you change how you sound to try to fit in to some standard of intelligence, some fake standard of intelligence, that's out. We got to stop that. Okay. And also, last note on the therapy thing. If you are going to go to therapy, because I'm not down in therapy. I know some people that have benefited greatly from therapy. If you are going to go to therapy, please find you a therapist that doesn't berate you or make you put you down and talk about you being accountable for stuff before they even address what happened to you in the first place. Okay? I'm not down to therapy. I know some people in the live saying don't go to therapy. It might be good depending on your therapist. You feel me? But yeah, That's all I have to say. I love you guys. If you're rocking with the live, like it, comment, share it. You could also hit the super chat, the super thanks after the video is over. That's a thing as well. Cash App is always the deal.
I've been looking for the thumbs up button the whole time she been talking.
Again, on my social media,
forgetting I was recording
LeShai,
this at home.
ERICA LESHAI. I know that be messing some of y'all up. Same with Cash App, $ Erica LeShai. I love you guys. I'll see y'all next time. Appreciate y'all for tapping into the live. Have a wonderful weekend.
Peace.
Goodbye.
So this is Dion Cole on Controlling Your Blackness. What Erica was talking about.
I hope we ain't going to heaven. I got shit to do. I can't do it. There was a middle seat open next to me. I ain't want none of them sitting there talking to me the whole damn flight. So I had to turn my blackness up. Oh yeah, white people, that's something we do. It's called managing your blackness. See, white people, y'all can be white all day long. Black people can't be black all day long. Society don't play that. It's messed up. But we have to choose throughout our day when to be black and when not to be. It's crazy. That black dude you work with, that ain't how he really act. That is not the real James.
That was Erica LeShai. Hit us with some gems, you know what I mean? And that was Dion Cole talking about controlling your blackness. Whatever. Hope y'all enjoyed it, man. Catch y'all next time.